Equity and inclusion are vital for the City of Greensboro's ability to grow and innovate in such a fast-changing environment. One Greensboro is a monthly show that highlights some of the ways the Office of Equity and Inclusion honors the observances listed on our Heritage Calendar and spotlights a City of Greensboro employee in a segment we call The One. These observances are an integral part of the National Equal Employment Opportunity and Civil Rights Program and encourage us to live as one people, one community, one Greensboro.
Today's episode, we'll be focusing on youth and young adults, and what better two departments with the City of Greensboro to do that with would be Parks and Recreation, which we're visiting today, and also our Greensboro Coliseum complex at the Aquatic Center. We also will be speaking, as we normally do, to our the one with the City of Greensboro, and just getting down and dirty with some of the youth programs that are going on to help keep our youth occupied during these summer months. So basically, I just need all of you all to remember, part of our programming will be to actually make sure we socially distance, and we also, when we're not doing interviews, wear our masks at all times. So now I'm so excited that we can catch up with Jennifer Hance, and she's going to tell us a little bit about what she does before she actually has to go and do what she does. Jennifer, what was the motivation for actually transitioning to the online programming that we're doing for the City of Greensboro and Parks and Rec?
So we decided that it was time to move our program online when everything started happening with the COVID-19. We had our stay-at-home orders put into place here in Greensboro and across the state. And we felt it was a good opportunity to be able to continue to engage the residents here in Greensboro, even if it wasn't necessarily in person.
And what are the various platforms that we're using now?
So we are fortunate with Parks and Recreation that we have a good following on our social media accounts. So we really started our focus on our Facebook accounts and doing Facebook Lives daily, Monday through Friday, to really have different programs and opportunities available to the residents. As we move forward into the summer, we're going to be doing some registration classes and programs that we'll do through Zoom. We also post videos on the City of Greensboro YouTube account, and that allows us to have an even broader reach as we reach out into the community even more throughout the summer. And we will be doing some in-person, quote, events that will take place at a social distance, such as car bingo, where people are in their cars, but they're still socially distanced. So even things that we do in person might not look like they have in the past, but they still will allow us to have that virtual feel going on with our program.
And now we're speaking with Shelly Scott, and I cannot wait to hear some of these programs that are actually going on this summer with Parks and Recreation. Shelly, it's such a pleasure to finally talk with you. I've seen you on Facebook and some other things, but now I can't wait to hear about the program. So welcome.
Well, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, thank you. So tell us a little bit about your position here with the City of Greensboro.
Yeah, so I'm the youth program specialist for the City of Greensboro Parks and Recreation. My main focus is children 0 to 10 and their parents and caregivers. And in this time of COVID, I'm actually working to coordinate the park's virtual programming.
The virtual programming. Tell us a little bit about how that program is actually going out into the community. What type of mechanisms are you using to get the word out about the programming?
We're doing some Zoom programs, some Facebook Live. We're also doing some pre-recorded programs to put on the city's YouTube channel.
Wow.
Yeah, and we're actually working to do some in-person programs that are going to be very socially distanced in cars.
Okay, now you've told me about all these platforms. What are these programs? I can't wait to hear, especially the one in the cars.
So the program in the cars is going to be car bingo. So we're actually going to do that at the Greensboro Sportsplex. And as the cars come in, then everyone will be given a bingo card, and we're going to broadcast it through their radios.
Wow.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
So the cars will be socially distanced.
Okay.
And then we'll just get to play bingo. So you'll still get to see people. You can wave.
Will there be prizes?
There will be prizes.
Okay, good prizes?
Good prizes.
Okay, all right. We might have to come check that out as well, too. What are some of the other programs that you actually are working on?
Yeah, so other programs that we have already done is virtual fishing, a kids tournament, which is really exciting, and an esports tournament, which people had a lot of fun doing that. We're also working on a Cake Wars program that the city will be able to participate in, and that'll be coming out in just a few weeks. So we're really excited to introduce that and do some family trivia night as well on Zoom.
Okay, and this is for all ages that these programs are for?
Cake Wars is going to have different age brackets, so a lot of different people can participate, and it's really going to be a lot of fun to see what people come up with.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you would like for our viewers to know about the program that you're doing or accessing the program? Anything else you'd like to tell them?
Yeah, well, we definitely have a strong Facebook presence online, so if you're not already following us on Facebook, that would be awesome to go ahead and follow Greensboro Parks and Recreation. We also are contributing in a partnership with Creative Greensboro and the libraries to do GSOsummeronline.com, .org, .net. We've got them all.
Good for you. Good
So
for you.
it's a really great place to find platforms to talk about.
Good.
And we also have a summer stay camp. So instead of summer day camp, we did a little play on words there, summer stay camp. And it's just a packet that you can pick up with a lot of information and activities for your children to do at home.
Wonderful. And is that packet online?
Yeah, you can access
Okay.
it online as well.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And where can they pick it up from if they did?
Yeah,
don't have
there's
the resources?
there's two different ways you can do it. So there's a digital version, and that's a version where you supply the materials.
Right.
And then there's the actual physical packet version, and that can be picked up at several of the recreation centers near
Great.
you.
Great,
Yeah.
wonderful. Well, I'm excited. I know it's a different summer than we've
Yeah.
all experienced, but it sounds like you all have some excellent programs. So, Shelley, thank you so very much, and I appreciate you speaking with me today, and I can't wait to get my daughter. She's done some, but she's going to do some more starting tomorrow. So thank you so much. Welcome to this edition of The One. The One is an intimate conversation with City of Greensboro employees that are working to create a culture of oneness in our organization and our city. This conversation will allow you to get to know them and hear their thoughts on our journey to create One Greensboro. Our employee this month is Devon Smith. He is the co-lead of our Young Professionals Employee Resource Group here with the City of Greensboro. Welcome, Devon. How are you doing today?
Hey, Maria, how are you?
Wonderful. We've had a very exciting week this week, haven't we?
We have.
Well, could you tell us a little bit about what your role is here with the city and a little bit about what you do with the Employee Resource Group?
My role here at the city is producer for Greensboro Television Network. So we work with the city's TV channel, live city council meetings, zoning meetings, as well as we produce content for the city's channel, city's YouTube channel, videos. We are an award-winning TV channel, so we've actually won a couple of awards this year. And as far as the ERG is concerned, you started the ERGs here, and you pulled me aside and you said, hey, I think you would be a great addition to our ERGs, and I just took the challenge and ran with it. I actually started with a different ERG, but you said, hey, we really have a need here with the young professionals, and I've really taken a liking to the position is just trying to help unify and bring together our young professionals and so we can learn from each other.
Wonderful. And we had a meeting this week, which was awesome. Thank you. What would you say is the most interesting project that you're working on right now?
Probably the ERGs. I've been here for about 4 years now, and the TV channel, it pretty much, it's on a cycle from the bigger things that we do. There's a lot of creative things that we do. However, the most challenging right now, so the most interesting to me will probably be bringing together these ERGs, especially given the times that we're going through culturally in our country.
Absolutely. And do you find with bringing them together that the cross of people, like you're involved in not just one, two, correct? So do you think that that is helping as far as bringing everyone together right now with everything that's going on?
Yes, I think for the most part, since I've been here at least, the city of Greensboro on a whole has actually done a very good job of bringing people of all backgrounds, whether it's religion, race, ethnicity, gender, whatever you want to, however you want to kind of categorize people. It's done a great job of bringing people together in general. So I think this is just a next step to kind of spread it out to not only the employees, but the community at large.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All this great work that you're doing for us, because it's fabulous. Thank you so much. That's why you are the one this month. Who inspires you to be the one?
So I figured you were going to ask me this question. It's kind of a loaded question because most people say their parents or their family, which they do inspire me, but I think about inspiration and motivation a little differently. I think about the source of it and it being consistent, and so I would have to actually say myself internally, not necessarily me as a person, but my values, my faith, things like that are my inspiration, and they kind of motivate me to be a part of the family, to be a better son, to be a better father, to be a better husband, to be a better employee. So I like to say, if you don't know yourself and if you're not motivated from within, everything, your definition of success, whether it's in family or as an employee, it'll always ebb and flow. But if you're motivated by just being the best version of you in those positions, then you'll start to see a lot more consistency.
Absolutely. Great answer. You forgot one. To be a better Aggie, because I see your Aggie shirt on. There you go. Aggie Pride. All right now. All right. So who would you most like to swap places with, if you could, for the day?
Wow. I would probably say the president. Not specifically this president.
Right.
However, I would really like to see what it's like on a day-to-day basis to be the president. I don't think they get enough credit for how difficult the job may be. But it's definitely got to be a difficult job trying to deal with as many people as you deal with in a day. And when you make a decision, you're going to make some people happy. You're not going to make some people unhappy.
Absolutely.
So we'll kind of want to see what that challenge is like.
Okay, cool. How is celebrating, because that's what we're doing this month, since it's a summer month, the kids are out. So how celebrating youth and young professionals, how is that one step towards creating a one Greensboro culture in your mind?
So one of the other things as far as outward facing inspiration is concerned is the next generation. I grew up and they told us, one, that we were going to be flying cars instead of driving them.
True.
But
like the Jets.
Yes. Yeah. Every generation needs to start thinking about the next generation, because those are our next leaders. And even as my generation become those leaders, we have to start preparing now for the next generation. And that's what's going, because our children and their children, they're going to be the ones that see through our dreams of diversity and inclusion. So that's really where it starts. It starts with us from the generation of leadership now, and then we have to start preparing ourselves to prepare the youth that aren't even in the workplace yet to be prepared for what's to come.
Wonderful. And how do you see us doing that? How can we create that culture by going out into the community? Because I know you've done some things with the ERGs, especially the African American ERG, and made some infomercials and things like that. How else can we go out to create that one Greensboro, especially hitting our youth and young adults in Greensboro, the city?
We have to teach them and empower them to be a part of the community. It's weird because when I was growing up, the only thing that I could think of was getting out of my community. I just wanted to go to college and I just wanted to get away. However, I slightly regret that now, being where I am now, because there's a lot of people in that community that I think that I could have encouraged to do a little bit better. So now that I'm here in Greensboro, I think that it's my duty, especially even working with the city, being a public servant, is to empower the people of this community to be a part of the community and grow the community. Because what we want is, even if they go off to a college somewhere else, is we want them to come back to impact Greensboro in a better way.
Absolutely.
And if we don't have people that are uplifting the community, then it's only going to be tore down. So
Wonderful. And I know the young professionals, because we've talked about it, have some plans to partner with the JCs and Synergy and some of these other young professional groups once things lift a little bit.
Yes.
So definitely, I think those are some awesome ideas. And Devon, all I can say is thank you so very much.
Thank you for having me.
This has been an insightful week. It's been an insightful time, but I just thank you for taking the time out to do the interview and to also be our one this month. So thank you so much. And now we're visiting the Greensboro Aquatic Center, and I am so excited, as I always am, to talk to one of my Greensboro friends, John Rife. Hi, John.
Hey, Maria. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful, doing wonderful. Could you tell us a little bit about what your job is here at the Greensboro Aquatic Center, and the GAC, as we call it, and, you know, kind of what's going on, if you don't mind?
Yes, ma'am. So I'm the Aquatic Operations Coordinator here at the Greensboro Aquatic Center. And so my main focus is kind of memberships, admissions, programs, and then the facility maintenance. And so mainly right now during the COVID stuff, our main focus is on programs and getting members able to use the pools again. So what we've got around the corner coming up is some programs starting in early July. We've got some private lessons that we're going to be starting July 6th and 7th. And so those are for all levels, preschool, youth, and adult. So that's a one-on-one instructor to participant ratio. Outside of that, we're going to do some upper level youth swim lessons. And those ones will be one child per lane, but it'll actually still be in more of a group setting. So that'll give a little more access to the higher levels as well. And then one of the ones that I really like is the Life Enrichment Program.
Okay.
And with
Can you
that
tell
one,
us about that?
Yes, it's specifically for adults. And so it's $65 for 6 swim lessons, but it includes a month membership. So you can attend all the water exercise classes. It gets you 10% off for swim lessons if you have children or other family members who are interested in those. But the biggest thing is it's whether you're a beginner or someone who's looking for stroke improvement and endurance, the coach kind of gives you a specific plan. So hopefully after those 6 lessons, you can continue using what you've learned. And so it's really the idea of people enriching their life through aquatics.
Wow. I might need to come take that, John. I took swim lessons at Windsor Center, and I will not tell you what year, but it's been a long time. So I might could improve my stroke lesson. And then you also said I could bring a child with me, so I could bring my daughter, Madison, with me?
So for the enrichment ones, it's just the one participant.
One participant.
But participating in that gets you 10% off for her and other programs.
Okay.
The same as having a membership.
Wonderful. Now that makes sense. That makes sense.
We can talk a little bit further on how to access the facility these days during COVID. Unfortunately, you can't just show up and drop in.
Right.
So right now, you kind of have 2 options, and that's the program side where you can purchase just the swim lesson package or the offering and attend that way.
Okay.
Or you have to buy a membership, and based off the water exercise class or the swim time, then you sign up for what's available. So you kind of purchase it and then sign up, and that's just for everybody's safety to ensure we know who's coming.
Absolutely. But there will be activities, because I know some parents are looking for some things to do with their children in the summer. They can come, check the website out, I'm assuming, and all of this information is there.
Yes, ma'am. We strongly encourage over these next couple days while things are being confirmed to follow us on Facebook, check our website.
Wow. It sounds like you all have a lot going on, especially with where we are now in the world. You're trying to do what you can to meet the needs of the community.
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I also saw, I know right behind us, there are, it looks like some youth swimming groups.
Yes.
Has that started back as well too?
Yes, so majority of our contractual swim teams, our community ones that partner with us and host swim meets, were our priority ones to get back in and get those kids practicing again. And so about all of them have shared practices here. They're very reduced numbers which stretch out their practice times, but it does allow them the ability to be back in the water.
Wonderful. And the final thing I wanted to ask you about the expansion. I know there was another part of the pool that was recently added. So what will that do to add, especially since this month we're talking about youth and young adults? Will hopefully when everything breaks, will you be able to have more competitive swim meets and be able to use the building a little bit more than you were before?
Hopefully. Everything's contingent based off the COVID right now. And we do have a small hiccup. Our training pool was recently completed September of 2020. Or I apologize.
2019.
Yes, ma'am. I apologize. And so that made us the largest indoor aquatic center in the United States.
I thought it was.
And so our one hiccup was we had to do a small liner correction, which they're working on right now. So our pool is shut down for a couple weeks.
Okay.
But once that reopens, that gives us the ability to host meets on this side and keep all of our community programming and team practices on that side.
Oh, wow. So I get to go over there
Yes,
next
ma'am.
time.
In the brand
Yay.
new pool,
Okay.
nicer locker rooms.
Wonderful.
It's a beautiful facility.
Even though this is as well, but I've seen that, but I can't wait to get over there. So John, thank you so very much, and thank you and the Coliseum and the Greensboro Aquatic Center for everything that you do, because again, we have this as a resource, and I don't think a lot of people realize that. So I'm hoping people will capitalize on this summer, especially with these swim lessons that you all have available.
Yes, ma'am. We appreciate the city's support, and we hope that everyone will realize this resource is available, and don't hesitate to reach out, ask questions, so we can find ways to get people in here and use these pools.
Wonderful. And John, last thing I want to put in a plug for you. You are also our co-lead for our Young Professionals Employee Resource Group. So thank you for all of your work, along with Devon, that you're doing, because what you all did this month made our Young Professional, Young Adult segment what it is. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Maria.
you.
Yes, ma'am.